Is it still recording?
No, it stopped recording, but I just started again. It's not picking up your audio.
It's still not.
No, here, let me do from your phone. Let's switch it up real fast. We'll do this real fast. Here, I need to go to settings. But yeah, Chad, this is going to be a podcast to where the base is movies. We might talk about some other interests. Me myself, I am a musician. I make predominantly rap music. So I'll try to share here and there. I'm not going to overdo it, but I'll try to share here and there some of my music. We may like just do random streams. Like if I have a show, I might have Luke record the stream or record it, stream it, have him talk to you guys. Just anything like that. If he has like a short film or something, I might pull up, record, just so you guys can get a sense of kind of who we are. Hold on, let's see if we can. So I'm gonna use your iPhone microphone. Do you have your camera plugged in?
So you can't get it to do the earbud again?
No, because I don't think the other one has a mic.
It doesn't? It should. Because I can talk to people on the phone even if I just have the left one in.
Oh, okay. Let's try it then. Hold on.
Yeah, it should. It totally should.
Sorry, Chad. We're trying to figure it. We're still new at this. This is a beginning stream. It's our first actual real stream, right?
Yeah, we had our first episode that was kind of like ad hoc, last minute put together, but this is kind of more of the format we want to do it in. We're still kind of rambling more than we would normally, just getting used to being concise, clear, and to the point.
I can't mess with the audio unless... Damn. Let's move on to the next section, guys. Man, I don't know why it wouldn't. I just changed it. Like, what the hell? Hold on, guys. Bear with us. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the problem.
Testing.
Okay, let's try that. Talking it?
Hello. We are still...
Okay, we're good.
Okay, that's what I thought. I
sorry.
didn't think it could have been too much of a thing you could have to deal with. So yeah, basically, this is a film and TV appreciation channel. Again, like I said,
a splash of entertainment. That's how I would word it. It's what he said with a splash of entertainment.
Yeah, so we'll try to be humorous, have fun with it.
Yeah, there's some segments I'm working on. We have one today we'll do here in a second, but we're just doing this to let you guys know what exactly we want to do with this. We're going to talk about movies first, but yeah, he's also going to dive into UFC. I'm a Chiefs fan. I might have some Chiefs news. That'll be rare, though. I won't do that very often, but mostly probably music stuff for me. I also stream on Twitch. I'm a gamer as well, so like... Yeah, we'll try to have streams maybe where we do questions, and then we'll play games. Maybe play like Rocket League or something, and just talk to you guys.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be a good one to do.
And he also runs a movie theater, so like, at any given day when we stream, we might just do it. If we can figure it out an effective way to do it, we'll stream from a movie theater. We'll just show you guys the screen, and we'll just talk to you guys. Maybe we do like a watch party or something, But yeah, anything else you want to say about that before we move on?
Yeah, so I mean, just kind of wrapping up the whole Star Wars Acolyte discussion. I think it's very promising on its own merits. You can find nitpicks in there for sure. We didn't really go over that too much, but again, it remains to be seen where things are going. So. But I'm excited for it. We've got the new episode dropping on Tuesday, and we'll probably get our next episode up sooner than we did this one. We kept running into issues that kept it from pushing it back all this whole week.
Guys, so,
I work during the day. He works at night. So anyway, our next episode will probably be out within
The weekend. Let's try to say from Thursday to Saturday. We'll get a set day. I'm thinking Thursday is the day because we're normally both off on those days.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get in a groove for sure. This is a thing that we've wanted to do for a while, and yeah, it's time to get to it, man. So
Heck yeah. But yeah, so moving on, we'll have a news segment where I'll just talk to Josh about different news topics in the film industry from the past month, because there's certain ones that I would like to bring up that maybe is old news, but just stuff we wanted to react to because it's stuff that we're interested in. But before that, did you want to do your your little?
yes, let me add this in, and this is something I'm working out, chat, so it won't always be like this. I am a guy. I have a dark mind, chat. That's what I'm gonna say. Lucas knows me well. He knows that my favorites are the darker cloth when it comes to film.
Action movies, but also chiefly horror movies.
Yeah, I'm just my dad used to always tell me when I was a kid, "You're in the blood and guts." And I used to look at him like, "It's not true," but it's 100% true.
And I'm gonna go grab a drink of water. I'll be right back.
Okay, let's do it. Whoa, this shit is huge. All right, so this is a segment. I have to make a page for this, and we're still working on the stream, guys. So don't judge me. But this next segment is called Nightmarish Sleepers. Sleeper Picks. Nightmarish Sleeper Picks. Okay, this is going to be a segment to where I'm kind of going to let you guys, the viewer, decide what you want this to be. So today I'm going to just do one movie that I've seen multiple times and have thoughts on. But if you guys would like me to dive less into just movies that are dark and good and more just like disturbing, just to be disturbing, I can do that. I don't know. Luke might not want to watch all of them, which I totally get, but I will check out recommendations. If you want me to do a whole section, do multiple movies, let me know. But as for now, Nightmare Sleeper Picks. It's only going to be one movie, and these are movies that are not only good, but also very dark and disturbing. Those are the type of movies that affect me the most. To me, it gets my mind going. Those are movies that when the credits are over, I'm still like looking at the screen, just thinking about things in real life and maybe just how crazy what I just saw was. But the movie today I'm going to talk about is Kill List. This is one of my favorite horror films to ever be made. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This film is an expert of thrill, dread, and I would say mystery. Let's see. I have to go to IMDb because I'm not good with names. But this film was made by Ben Wheatley. He's since then done some other films that, they're okay. But this is, to me, Kill List is his bread and butter. This is what I think he is excellent at, is this horror aspect. This is a film about, it's an interesting film. It's actually split up into 3 parts, Luke. It's like, first part is we'll say a drama, family drama. Second part is more thrill. I guess you can call it action, but it's more thriller. And the third part is just straight horror. This movie starts off the main character, which his name is Jay. This is played by Neil Maskell. And his wife is called Shell, and this is I don't want to pronounce this, Luke. Is it Mayana Buring?
Let me look real quick. Sorry,
but I love this girl. She is like a low key scream queen because she's in some of my favorite horror movies. One in particular is The Descent. It's one of my favorite
Mayana
films.
Buring.
Yeah. But it starts off with those two getting into arguments, talking about. I don't know if I really want to spoil it. I think I want to do more of just like a review of the film. But it starts off with them talking about money and how Jay needs to work. And this is where the mystery already starts. They're arguing. You can tell Jay has very strange issues, like anger issues. Excuse me. But at any point, you know, he can boil over. And you see that in the first part when he's yelling at his wife. But it's essentially about the wife wanting him to work again. And you find out that he is actually a hitman. And his friend is in a very large portion of the film, and his friend is played by Michael Smiley. His name is Gal. So Jay and Gal are both hitmen. He gets back into work, and that's kind of where the movie takes off. That's where the thriller part takes off, and it goes down a path that you know something is wrong. You can feel the dread, but when it gets there, it's almost too late. Like it, and that's why I love the film so much. It's uncompromising, and it doesn't explain a lot. It just tells you this is happening, this happens, and then by the time you're still thinking about trying to figure it out, the end of the movie is there. It's the most tragic thing you've ever seen.
This is something I have seen, and it is an incredibly effective movie.
Yeah.
I think it in part, or parts of it may have inspired You Were Never Really Here. I know that that's based on a book, but that Joaquin Phoenix movie, there's certain parts that totally remind me of that, where he's basically going after these people that are seemingly bad people.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Like there's this one scene with a hammer with a guy.
Yeah, it's the worst part of the film, I would say. Yeah.
That's like incredibly disturbing, but like effective, and yeah, it's a movie that gets darker and darker as it goes.
It's a spiral for sure, and that's what I mean. Like, it's a movie that it wants to confuse you along with the character. Once you figure out what's going on, it is too late, and it's almost like, wow, so this was going to happen regardless. There was no way this guy could have avoided what happened. But yeah, along with what he said, the acting is superb in it. I'm trying to think. To me, there's so many, because it doesn't explain a lot in this movie, there's so many ways that people interpret it. Like, for me, my whole thing was cause and effect, and just about decisions in life. And to me, that's what I got out of it. But just every decision he made affected his life in some way, whether that was somebody dying close to him, whether it caused him to have outbursts, his mental health be at stake. But every decision he made in this movie had a consequence. But yeah, this, like I said, the reason I love this movie is because it doesn't treat the viewer like an idiot, essentially. There's no flashbacks. It's all straightforward. Just, it almost reminds me of like it's almost like a movie trailer. Wouldn't you agree, Luke? Like a long movie trailer. It's like,
it's very minimalistic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Not in a way that's like off-putting necessarily, but it's just like there's no frills to it. It's very like
cut and dry. Like, yeah. But yeah, I've seen other people talk about how the main, because apparently this movie was political. It's a movie of its time. Do you have it pulled up? See, I'm not prepared, Chad. I'm sorry. But where's this movie made from? Because wherever it was made from is the political statement they wanted to make at the time.
I thought it was. Is it not British? I just thought it was British. Is it?
Yeah, it probably is. I just wanted to know exactly what part here.
Let me see. Trivia, maybe.
But yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you guys because
this is a movie best not spoiled.
Yeah, this is a movie that you just have to go in blind. I kind of told you guys what it is already, which I might have mistaked doing. But if you haven't seen this movie, if you can handle violence, if you can handle gore, because it does go there. There's not prolonged scenes to say, but there is a lot of scenes that will stick with the viewer. You should check this out. I thought this movie was really thought-provoking. I even heard somebody even go as far as to say that the main character was a veteran that's struggling with PTSD, and nothing that is going on in this movie is real. I was like, man, and thinking back on it, I'm like, yeah, this could totally be what this movie's about. Like, it is one of those movies that is, I think, a true piece of cinema and art, because it is up for you to decide what you think is going on. And no answer, I think, is wrong, honestly. Would you agree with that, Luke?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, it's there's just so many, like, there's a movie I've seen it a couple times, so that helps, but there's like so many indelible images, like at least 2 or 3 parts of the movie that like I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And my favorite movie of his is called Free Fire, and that's much more of a humorous action fun thing, and that's just because for me I'm much more of a lighthearted person. Yeah.
He's a good filmmaker.
He's a very interesting filmmaker,
but I think this is his bread and butter. Like, I haven't been affected by. There's a couple movies that I think maybe I would put over it, but it's, as far as the effect and that got my brain going, this is like up there for me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. This is like my first time doing like review type stuff, so like, sorry if I'm all over the place, but I just don't want to spoil it for you guys. That's my main objective. If you guys want me to, like I said, this is for the viewer. So if you guys want me to spoil it, if you don't want to watch it and want me to spoil it, you guys have to let me know. But as for now, I'm not going to spoil anything with these movies. But this is the first one. Like I said, if you can handle violence, extreme violence, psychological torture, and I don't know, just mystery, then check this one out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this image. Is there anything else we have?
No, I think that was. In general, or just for this section? Sorry.
Just in general.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted to go over some very briefly, some news items. Again, some of this is old news, but I just wanted us to kind of talk about it, about what we think.
Okay. Get the internet pulled up.
The first one I wanted to mention, this it's coming from the Hollywood Reporter back on May 15th, is that Donnie Yen is set to star in the John Wick spin-off movie.
You know me.
Based on his character Kane from John Wick 4. John Wick 4 is, I think, one of the greatest action movies of all time. I think all 4 of the John Wick movies are up there. I think each one is an action masterpiece, but I think each one gets better than the last action sequence-wise. I'm not saying that each movie is better than the last as a movie, but as, like, just set piece for set piece, I think each movie gets better than the last. And the best part, I think, of John Wick 4 is Donnie Yen's character, Kane. He's such a badass. Probably one of my favorite introductions of a character in any movie ever is the first scene he's in, where he starts off like casually eating noodles while there's this crazy gunfight or fight happening around him, and then he finally decides to join in on it.
Yeah, he's a legit badass. Like, there's one thing that if you've ever seen Donnie Yen films, you can tell that he knows like his stuff. Like, he's legit. You know, like even Keanu Reeves even said, like, yeah, I do that for the cameras. I go to training, but Donnie Yen, he's one of those people that really do it. Like, so yeah, it's
one of the great martial arts action stars of all time, I would say, and one of the greatest that's doing it still. And I'm so excited. This is something that I wanted more than anything. They have a John Wick's spinoff called The Ballerina coming up with Ana de Armas, and that'll be cool, I think.
I think that'll be great. She's a world class actress, and it's almost like, if I'm sitting in that room, like the pitch meeting, it's like, how do we make John Wick even better? Let's put a badass, beautiful, like, great actress at the helm, and it'll be even better. So, like, I heard the writing is pretty good for it. Who do they have directing it?
So the director is Len Wiseman. He's done some good stuff and some bad stuff. He did some of the what is it called? The Underworld movies. I think he did the first one, and then maybe a couple of the other ones. And then
I actually like the Underworld movies.
I've only seen the first one. I like the first one. I don't have a problem with it. But he also did the remake of Total Recall, which I heard was not very good.
Okay.
but they went back and did extensive reshoots on Ballerina, or like to make the action sequences more on par, or like up to the standards of the John Wick franchise, I guess. So that's exciting.
That's
to
a
know
good
that they're
thing,
going
yeah.
back to do that for sure.
And
Chad
I heard
Stahelski is kind of overseeing the whole John Wick universe at this point. Like Lionsgate's kind of hired him to run John
like
Wick
Kevin
and run
Feige.
and run Highlander as well. And so I'm hoping that means that he'll have a big hand in this Kane movie, because easily, yeah, like I said, just other than John Wick himself, by far my favorite character in the John Wick series, and one of my favorite action movie characters. So it's totally fitting that he's getting his own movie, and it's going to take place after the events of John Wick 4, specifically. So the director of this one. Let's see. I thought
I heard the writing.
Oh, they haven't. No, so that's right. They have not established a director, but
I heard the writing was good. Like I heard that from, and don't ask me for info. Like this is just a compilation of me watching Chad Stahelski interviews on YouTube. Like you can just look him up. But he talks about, when they ask him about it, he says it's a good film. So if he says that, I think I trust it.
And are you talking about Ballerina?
Yeah, Ballerina.
Oh, okay.
He seemed excited. I mean, he could just be promoting or whatever, but I mean, I don't think he would lie about it. He seems like a pretty honest person.
Yeah, and it looks like the Robert Askins guy who's going to be writing the Kane movie, he worked on Umbrella Academy.
Which a lot of people love.
I need to watch that. I actually
have
not. I've only seen a couple episodes, and I do need to finish that, because it is something that's totally right up my alley. The Sun, that Pierce Brosnan Western.
I heard that was good, too. I haven't seen that. Damn, man, I should check out some of these guys' movies.
But yeah, so it seems like they got somebody that's worked on good stuff, so that's good for the writing. And then, so yeah, that's the first news item I wanted to kind of just.
And I do want to say, like, for people that are not familiar with Donnie Yen, it's probably, like, I'm hoping they're still excited for it. But, the people that follow him his whole career, this is awesome. Like, he's going to get a major film with a major studio. Like, it's going to be awesome.
And he said he loved working with Chad. He really, really appreciated the way he worked and stuff like that. So it seems like this is probably something he maybe even had asked for himself, or was at least just happy to sign on for, because he absolutely loved the working on John Wick 4. He said it was a breath of fresh air, because he often works in Hong Kong, and not to say that excuse me, that there's anything wrong with the way they do things in Hong Kong, but he just liked the different way that Chad worked, and I mean that could be different in Hollywood as well. So,
yeah, guys.
So anyway,
you would not believe that Luke has not seen the Ip Man movies. Those might be his best. I mean, I could pick scenes from different Donnie Yen movies that are like even more superior than Ip Man, but as far as films, it's his best.
It's absurd. My friend and his dad have recommended me those movies for so long, and I keep trying to get them to watch John Wick 4, and I think that there's a part of them that's like, until you watch those Ip Man movies, why would we watch this movie?
There's no way they've seen Ip Man and don't want to see John Wick 4. They know he's in it. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, like I'm kind of joking about that, but it is true. It's ridiculous that I haven't watched them. I've sat down multiple times, and then just something has come up. It's just weird. It's a blind spot that I definitely blind spot, no pun intended. No, Kane is a blind character.
Just know I'm very excited, chat. But yeah, you can.
Yeah, easily whatever movie or whatever year that comes out, that'll be one of my most anticipated movies for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is Shogun seasons 2 and 3 are in the works at FX and Hulu.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting, because the first season is based on the book Shogun, and there is no sequel book. So they're going to essentially be creating this whole cloth. It looks like Michaela Clavel, who I think is his daughter, is going to be a part of the creative team, or maybe she's just a producer. But
whose daughter?
James Clavel, the author of the Shogun book. Hiroyuki Sanada has already signed on the Shogun in the title of the movie or the show. So we'll see. I'm excited for it, but I'm also not even concerned, but like
I am.
It's just like if you're moving beyond the books, it's hard.
Did they follow the? Do you know if they followed the books pretty closely?
Yeah, so I listened to, or shout out to John Roca and oh my goodness, Steve. Oh man, I cannot believe I can't remember his co-host's name, but on the John Roca channel, he and man, I'm going to look this up, but they did Shogun after shows, kind of like what we are doing with the Acolyte, and this guy has read the Shogun books like many times, or the Shogun book many times, and other James Clavell novels. So he's very, very granularly familiar with the books, and he said that like it's very close to the books in many ways, and the changes they made were often for the better. So
okay.
So he seemed to think that.
So maybe they can make an even better show now that they don't have kind of like the source material, because if they're making decisions that are not a part of the book, you know what I'm saying, and that they're good decisions or better than the book, it could be a good thing. But yeah, I'm kind of worried about it. I just don't know where they would go from here. I think all shows just run into that aspect to where they run out of source. At least the ones that are successful and want to keep going, they run out of source material and just don't have a direction. Do you think you could? You think you know where it would go from here? Because what happened at the end of the Shogun? Spoilers. Can't remember exactly.
So yeah, maybe we don't go into spoilers just since that's not what we're like talking about for today, and we can't warn people. But it ends in a way that's like definitive enough that I just don't. I'm curious to see what they do. Again, these characters in the book apparently are based on real people, so in a sense, they could just tell the story of these. Sorry, I just keep looking for this guy's name. I'm so sorry. The Cinephiles co-host, Steve Morris. Okay, sorry. Just wanted to give credit where credit's due. So I listened to these spoiler reviews with John Roca and Steve Morris. And Steve, who's John's co-host on the Cinephiles podcast, is very familiar with the books. So he seemed pretty happy with the adaptation for sure. But yeah, it's just so weird and interesting. So we'll see. I'm excited for it in the sense that if they think that they have more story to tell, and if they're just going to draw from the history that these characters are based on, then maybe it could be good. But it's hard. It's like I love Game of Thrones. I love the show. I don't even have as much of a problem, or really much of a problem, with the ending of the show as a lot of people do.
I'm working on a chat. Season 5, episode, I think 8.
Yeah, we'll be doing some little like retrospectives on the last couple seasons of that show.
I did watch House of the Dragon, so we're going to be up on that. But
yeah, we'll be starting that a week from Sunday and doing post shows on that. So, but yeah, so like in Game of Thrones, as the show went on and it got past the books, that's when people had more and more issues with the show. Again, I thought it was still good, but if you run out of the material that's what was the basis for what made your show good in the first place, yeah, it's just going to be hard to capture that magic. So again, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't read the book, so it's not like I'm going to be
looking for anything.
No, yeah, I'm not going to know what I don't know in that sense, but it's just interesting that they've not only ordered a second season, but also a third season to something that like was told in its entirety in the first season.
I'm hoping we get more action. It's just like, man.
Yeah, that was the one thing, that it was very restrained in that sense, which is respectable, but like definitely, I would imagine in the second season they might end up just showing there's this battle that I guess that would be the one thing I'm spoiling, but like there is a battle that they don't show, and maybe they show that in the second season. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they decide, but more of that,
And it's
I'm cautiously optimistic, but it's just hard to say when there's no prior material to go off of.
yeah, I really think they could capitalize on some things too. And I'm not
And it was a great first season. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the Shogun was an amazing show this year. Definitely one of the shows of the year.
I want them to get into like just like it would be cool if they just followed like we kind of got how things were back then. Like we got that, but we didn't get specifically into certain types of people. Maybe like I just think with all the samurais in the show, it'd be a crime not to show like what their life was like on a daily. Because I watched a documentary on it, and they did not live good lives. Like it was some of the worst that I've read or heard of. So like it'd be cool for them to kind of dive to go along with the realistic aspect of the show. Just keep the realism, kind of dive into some of those lives that the show kind of gets into the culture, but not necessarily like, what I'm saying, like the different aspects of different people, what I'm saying, or like whether you're a samurai, whether you're, yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of material you could draw from. I'm just curious to see how they kind of extend the story from the books and kind of meld that into what it's going to be beyond the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next thing, and this is maybe to me the most questionable potential project coming out, is I wanted to see what you think, because here's this article from Deadline saying Ian McKellen on reprising his Lord of the Rings character in the Gollum movie. His response: "If I'm alive." But yeah, so this news came out about this new movie from produced by Peter Jackson, potentially being written by him, Philippa Boyens,
what is it
and
called?
Fran Welsh. The Hunt for Gollum. So Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. We do know that David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, is trying to make the most money off of all the IP that they own. So
2009. What is this? Is it 2009 version?
You're probably thinking of The Hobbit, maybe? The Hobbit maybe came out?
No, you should. Are you on IMDb?
What are you looking at?
I'm on IMDb, The Hunt for Gollum. It says it's a 2009. 38-minute. Yeah, that's not it. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But yeah, so Andy Serkis will be directing it, the guy who played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He's going to direct it. It's supposed to come out in 2026.
Are we really excited about this? Like, if Gollum's the main character, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be that interested. I think we both agree that there's just this world is so big. Like, why not focus on something else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, we'll see. I guess we'll see what they come up with. But I have to say, I'm truly not looking forward to it. They took the Hobbit movie and turned that into 3 movies, which is absolutely unnecessary. I do enjoy them,
yeah.
But they're like
The
definitely. The only reason there was even a third one, there was originally going to be 2 movies, and they made a third one just because they literally could not finish in time to meet the deadline for the second movie, and they were just like in a rush, and they're like, you know what, we'll just put it off by like just making a third. So it was born out of greed / unpreparedness, and it was, the whole Hobbit thing was supposed to be done by Guillermo del Toro, but it took so long to get going that they literally just were like, hey, Peter, can you please do this for us? So he's not directing this time. It's going to be Andy Serkis. It seems as though the actor who played Gollum.
Yeah. Oh,
so he was second unit director on the Hobbit films, I think. And he directed the second Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage, and Mowgli, Jungle Book Story or something. The Netflix live-action Jungle Book movie that came out around the same time as the Disney one.
Those are movies I did not want to see, so I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think, yeah, so I think it will maybe have its moments, whatever. To me, Gollum is not...
He's like a side character, like, yeah.
I mean, he's a fascinating character, but like, what are we going to have, like a Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle type story about this dude? Like, I just don't know what this is going to be. I think I think this is maybe the most obvious version of like trying to get money out of an IP there is, because it's like I just don't understand it. We'll see. I mean, again, I'll probably see it.
They probably saw that video game. And it was like, let's do something like that. Like nobody played that video game. I didn't want it.
So yeah, speaking as somebody who's a huge fan of Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then enjoyed the Hobbit movies, it's like
same here.
Cool that they're involved, but I'm much more, even as slow to get going as the Rings of Power the show was, I'm more looking forward to season 2 of that than I am this Hunt for Gollum movie. Like I said, I just don't even understand. Whatever. I don't know where it's coming from. Again, we try to be positive on this show in general.
I mean,
if we can, but I just don't know what
we
to
ain't gonna like
think
everything.
About.
You know
yeah, we're not. Yeah, you can't like everything or anticipate everything. Well,
but yeah, Gollum is a very side character.
I just have to say I'm shocked, but maybe not shocked by the announcement. It's like I'm not shocked that they're trying to do something more with the IP of Lord of the Rings, but like I'm kind of just like, wow, that's where you're going with it? Okay. We'll see. So I guess we'll have more news on that down the line, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on those 3 topics. The Kane spinoff for John Wick 4 and what was the other one? I just talked about it. Whatever. He's not for Gollum. Man, we're such pros here. But all that to say, that's all I've got for today. Check out the Acolyte. Let us know what you're thinking in the chat.
Please do give us your thoughts. There's something you would want us to review that we like. I don't think we're just gonna go out our way unless we like want to do it too.
And this is an organic podcast show, whatever you want to call it. Like it's going to be moving and evolving as we go. We're going to get better at this. Probably can't get much worse, but
no, I think this is pretty good. We got good quality here. You know what I'm saying? It looks semi like we know what we're doing. So we'll build off of this, and
it's a start. We'll become more and more camera ready, and like I said, more clear, concise, and to the point when it comes to things. I definitely tend to ramble, but we'll get better as we go. So thanks for sticking with us. I'm sure this was a longer episode than it needed to be, but we're getting our bearings in all this. And like I said, let us know if there are topics you want us to discuss, things you want us to get into.
I do want to say that House of the Dragon season 2 starts tomorrow, or
no, not tomorrow. A week from tomorrow.
A week? Oh, okay,
I thought that was my bad. I thought it was Sunday.
Okay, but that is the next
16th
big thing we will be talking about. We'll do do we want to even do an episode until that comes out? Would it be something that we want to wait until like Monday, or do you want to?
No. So what I think we should do is we should do another episode. We'll just talk about this on air. No, but that's cool.
Yeah, let's talk about it off here. But yeah.
Well, no. So we're going to do another episode with where we review the third episode of the Acolyte, and we'll talk about news from this week. And we're continuing to refine the show, so that show should be even more refined than this. And then the following week, we'll do a show that recaps the first episode of House of the Dragon, the 4th episode of the Acolyte, and the news from that week.
Yeah, okay.
So that's kind of how it'll go. And then we'll do we'll start the boys as well.
For sure.
At the end of June. So there will be a certain point where we'll be doing reviews on all 3 shows for the each week, and we'll start to have to segment those out. So we'll have the sections, little videos, shorter videos where we just are talking about the specific shows, so that if you want to just watch the Acolyte review, or if you just want to watch the House of the Dragon, or you just want to watch the boys reviews, you can do those.
But that's look forward to that chat. Thank y'all for watching this. Like we said, leave comments. You got anything else to say? I think
I'm excited about this endeavor. Like I said, it's gotten off to a rocky start. Just because we're working out the kinks with the technology and just our own schedules and things, and we're going to try to get it to a point where it's like, if you're ever wanting to watch it live, you'll know that we'll have it on a semi-regular time frame. But now it's more like we're recording live, but then most people that'll watch it will be watching it after the fact, especially this one. Like, Jesus, we're doing it like in the early morning on a Sunday. So,
Yeah. But yeah,
anyway, all that to say, thanks for your attention. And
let's get off this thing.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to talking to more about Star Wars, The Acolyte, and other movie and TV news.
All right. Deuces.
Later.